at us on a Monday. I feel so weird right now.
I know. I keep forgetting it's Monday.
I know, I do too. Of course, this time of year as a teacher, I forget what day of the week it is all the time. So all I know is I knew it was Monday because the Victorian Bakery was closed in Kalamazoo, and I got super sad because I'm always sad when the bakery is closed. And then I get super happy on Tuesday when the bakery is open again. I know. So Ann, I noticed that when I started the music to start the show, you like totally ran off.
I did.
I was worried that you weren't going to. Good job getting back in time.
No problem. I'm roasting garlic for dinner tonight, and so I had to run and put the garlic in the oven. So
now,
there we go.
When is the garlic done?
It's done in an hour.
Okay, so we have literally exactly 60 minutes to do the show because then the garlic will be done. What are you putting the roasted garlic on? Can I ask?
It's a tri-pepper bread from Crust Bakery.
Oh, it's from Crust?
Mm-hmm.
Totes jelly. That means I'm totally jealous. I'm totally jealous. You look at me using the same language that the cool kids are horrified that they would hear me say. So
exactly, like, oh, we can't use that language anymore because old Mrs. Brothers uses it.
Yes, super uncool Mrs. Brothers who wears slacks to work. Yep.
Exactly. Did you see her shoes? They're so unflattering. I was like, yeah, but my feet don't hurt.
But my feet feel so good now. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yes, if you are seeing us right now live on the Facebook or the YouTube, don't worry, you're fine. It is Monday, but we're doing this because we have a super special guest today, and this day worked for her schedule, so that's awesome. We'll talk about our special guest here in just a minute. So yeah, so Ann, you and I just had a really exciting little weekend getaway. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that when we get to the smart dumb fun stuff we did, but I'm feeling pretty good about my trip and feeling I've never really spent any time in eastern Wisconsin. I have spent lots of time in northwestern Wisconsin, but I was very impressed with eastern Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's lots of glacial geology. So
glacial dump is what you're looking for. Yes, lots of moraines, eskers, and other random glacial drainage. So yes, good job, glaciers.
Glaciers, yeah,
making the hills of Wisconsin. I know, right?
Yeah. It was very lovely.
So yeah,
rolling, very pastoral.
Lots of rolling hills, lots of smoke. Still really smoky for those of you that are existing in the Midwest right now. You are existing with some Canadian wildfire smoke. It's pretty thick out there. It makes the sky look really weird, but it's killer for some really cool sunsets and sunrises. So
that's true.
That's the upside of an environmental catastrophe. So yeah, it's fine. It's
exactly.
Fine.
Really nice sunrise.
Yes, so great. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up real quick like a bunny. There it is. As you can see today, we are talking with Bailey Sisoy-Moore, who is the executive director of the Michigan Maritime Museum. So that's doggone exciting. So we are super jazzed. This is the second time we've had Bailey on the show, a little bit different capacity, and that's one of the reasons that we're talking to her today, because something cool and exciting has happened, and we wanted to share that with you and allow her to share her amazing information about the Michigan Maritime Museum. So super excited to be here today with Bailey. In the meantime, Ann, did you want to start us off with our welcome back or our welcome to those who have any idea who we are or what we're up to?
Yes, I would love to, Jenny Brothers. Welcome or welcome back. We are Ann and Janice Brothers. We are sisters. Our last name is Brothers, and we don't have any brothers. People are always, that's the first question they ask is like, oh, do you have brothers? And the answer is no.
And then they're like, oh, as if that's like conversation over, as if we could not be less interesting because we don't have any brothers.
We don't have any brothers. So yeah, so there we go. No, we don't have any brothers, in case you were wondering.
Yes. So there you go.
So we're in our 50s, Generation X, which means we grew up being taught that nuclear war with the USSR, which is now Russia, was inevitable, and it made for TV movies that reflected that fear. So we were still of that generation where we could be decimated by nuclear destruction at any moment. And it added, I think it's one of the reasons why we're a fairly angsty generation. We were really into angst when we were in our teens and 20s. And I think it's because, we were still being raised with that idea. We didn't have the optimism of winning a world war, but we had all the fear of dying in a nuclear war. So I think it made us very angsty, not anxious, angsty. It's like,
Hence all the
oh,
hence all the
no.
John Hughes movies? Is that yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I think I feel like that threat of nuclear disaster made it, made us want to just have a good time, you know.
Yeah. So what can I say?
I'm like,
Anyway,
yeah. Yeah, do you remember The Day After, Anne? Do you remember that movie, The
I
Day
do
After?
remember.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Mhm,
Burned into my subconscious. Mom and
mhm.
Dad actually let us stay up late so we could watch that as a family. I'm like,
They
yay, family TV.
Nuclear annihilation. You're all gonna die badly
It
and
is.
slowly.
Yes, but that was literally like that's all they talked about for weeks was this upcoming movie, blah blah blah. And so yes, we got to
Mm,
stay up late to watch The Day After with the family, and it was terrifying. And I think I had nightmares for the next, I don't know, 10 years.
I
So
think so too. I think so too. So
and then like there was one that the English made, which was even worse. It was even more brutal. Do you
Threads.
remember that one?
Yeah, Threads. That was the name.
Threads, yes.
Yep. Yep. That was
Yeah,
it.
that
That
one
was more terrifying.
it was because the English have always been a little bit more. They have a more of an edge than we do, and they were like that movie totally reflected that. So yeah,
Totally
yeesh.
did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mm.
so there you go, folks. We talk about smart stuff, dumb stuff, fun stuff, or any combination of the three.
Or
And
nuclear annihilation. So there you go. Yay.
exactly. Yeah. So we're not cool, hip, or sexy. And we know this because we will give up our dignity for a laugh. I mean, if
Mm.
if there's a laugh in there and all we have to do is take, shed any sense of dignity for the laugh, we will do it. Jenny and I will
Spent
100% do it.
I've spent years smearing cupcakes on my face, pretending I was a 1-year-old eating birthday cake. I've been doing that for years, and you know what? It always kills.
Exactly. I'm like, I can't tell you how many shrimp tails I've shoved between my two front teeth and asked if there was anything in my teeth. So
And you and I have just been putting the ass in class for so many years. We're amazing.
we
So
are amazing. We are amazing. So cool, hip, and sexy people are confident enough to maintain their dignity at all costs. We are not.
correct.
So
No,
anyway,
that's not us.
sorry.
Yeah.
We're not a true crime or celebrity or influencer podcast. We are the ice cream truck of podcasts. You're excited to see us, and we bring treats. So
Yes.
mhm,
Correct. We're bringing a treat today for sure. Yes. Good.
exactly, and
Yeah.
usually accompanied with music. So there you go.
Nice. I love
Mhm.
that.
We've been told we're good to listen to when you want to learn things about stuff. And today we're going to learn and laugh. And when we're done, you will have another cool place to visit. So
Agreed.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't
Yeah,
wait. I can't
I
wait.
know. Me too.
So yeah.
This podcast is not G, PG, or even PG-13. However, we will be on our best behavior today because we have company. So there you
That's
go.
right. That's right. So we can be
Maybe
good.
we can be. We know how to be good. We have had
Yes.
professional lives, so we know how
Yes.
to be good. You
Yes.
can join us on our website or Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, YouTube, Amazon Music. Like us, follow us, hit the bell, leave a review, and give us your feedback with our questions and answers and our polls. And of course, you can ask Alexa and Siri. That's the other one.
Yes. That's
Okay,
the
look,
one.
I finally learned her name. So you can ask
Good job.
Alexa and Siri to play us, and they'll do it because we're on all the major stuffs.
I know, right?
Hmm.
That's cool. Right
I know.
on. All right. Remember people to share us when you listen to us. Tell people to listen to us. Share us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. It's fun to share. Sharing is for everybody. Sharing is caring. Okay,
Sharing is
good. Hey, let's talk about the smart, dumb, and fun stuff that we did this week. And if you don't mind, I'm going to start us off.
Please do, Jenny.
All right, so we went to West Bend, Wisconsin this week. Our cousin Brendan was getting married this week to a lovely girl named Jure, and we spent the wedding was in a place called Kewaskum, Wisconsin, and just a little bit south of there is a town called West Bend, Wisconsin, which strangely enough is amazing. Yeah,
Hmm.
from start to finish, that little town, it's about 30,000 people, and it's a great town. Lots of cool stuff there, shockingly cool stuff. It's right along the Milwaukee River, and that it's just really lovely. Like Wisconsin, there's there's more bars than there are people. So we frequented many of those bars, and there's a really great restaurant called the Norbert right downtown, which was we had a little family get together before. the wedding, the day before the wedding, and the Norbert was amazing. The food was just fabulous, and the service was incredible. Everybody there was so kind and so accommodating to us. Here we are. It's a busy Friday night. This is a restaurant that doesn't take reservations, but I called them a few days before, and they were so accommodating and so excited to have us there. So the Norbert in West Bend, Wisconsin, if you live in that area, you should go to there. And
Mhm.
the other thing is the Mars Cheese Castle. That was my dumb thing. The dumbest place in America might be the Mars Cheese Castle, and you should go there.
And you should go there. Oh, wait, Jenny, I have my balloon.
Oh, yes. When you walk in, there was a nice lady handing out crowns to everyone, not just the kids, and
Exactly.
balloons to everyone, not just the kids.
So,
So, yes, you can see a picture there of Anna and I sporting our amazing crowns.
mhm,
You can buy pretty much any sort of Wisconsin cheese that you can think of,
mhm,
in any form that you can think of, and they have both a bar that serves, according to them, the world's best Bloody Mary, and
mhm.
also they have like a little food place where you can get a really salty bowl of soup. So yay.
Exactly. Why else would you want it any other way? So,
Correct. So yeah, yes.
so because Jenny and I had very similar experiences this weekend, I also my dumbest thing was the Mars cheese castle. It was amazing because Jenny and I are very attracted to that sort of thing. So we got lots of cheese. Well, we got three different types of cheeses, and I bought a little coin purse that looks like a piece of cheese because I told Duncan, I said, if I can find a purse here that looks like cheese, I'm buying it. And it was a little coin purse. It was so cute. So that was fun. West Bend,
Yes.
Wisconsin was lovely. We went to the Hub, which is their community, all run by volunteers coffee house. That was really wonderful. They had a
Super
labyrinth
cool.
that was amazing. We got to hang out with lots of family on my mom's side of the family, so it was really nice to see everybody. So, and Norbert, the restaurant that took us all in, there was 15 of us on a busy Friday, and they saved a place for us. So they were wonderful. The food was excellent. It was kind
It's
of a
so
tapas
good.
style.
Yeah,
My favorite thing was this mashed cucumber salad. And you're like, really? I'm like, it was so delicious. It was so delicious that my favorite thing was cucumbers.
what?
I know. Everything was really good. I mean, I would eat everything like over and over again. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
what they could do with a cucumber. I mean, and I don't hate cucumbers, but I wouldn't be like, oh, yay, cucumbers. But damn, I would have eaten that like I would have gotten another order of it. So there you go.
for
So
sure.
that was fun. We had a great time, lots of laughing, lots of family. We counted 9 bars downtown, and downtown is only 3 blocks.
Oh, and we actually counted two more as we were driving out of town. So make it
Okay,
11.
11 bars in 3 blocks. Damn. So anyway,
Wisconsin, you never disappoint when it comes to
you
being able
never
to find a drink ever.
exactly. Yeah, we had no problem there. So there you go.
So, yes. All right. Bailey Sisoy-Moore is here to talk to us about the Michigan Maritime Museum. So, without further ado, let's bring her out. Bailey Sisoy-Moore, there you are. Woo! Or did I get you? There you
Hi.
are. Nice. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and bring you in so that we can see your beautiful shining face. So,
Oh, well,
yeah,
I'll meet
right
you guys
on.
on a Monday anytime.
Mm,
Thank you for doing this. Thank you for
sweet.
having me.
Thank you for coming on and
Pleasure.
joining us once again. So yeah. Uh, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. I mean, sunshine on the water, boats to be ridden, exhibits to explore. What could be better?
Uh, Nothing as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So
Cheese. If I had some cheese, I'd be solid.
you would. You'd be super solid.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And you want to lead the questions on this, or do you want to? How do you want to do this?
Oh, sure, sure. Uh, Bailey, you've been on our show before. In fact, if you'd like to hear Bailey talk about the Detroit History Club and Detroit History Tours, you can go back into our archives and listen to that because that's a fabulous interview. But you know that our first question to all our guests is please tell us something smart, something dumb, something fun, or any combination of the three.
I had to overachieve, but I have so much cool information and so much cool stuff happening here at the museum. I've got one of each for you.
Yay.
So, my something smart is do you know that at the beginning of the 20th century, the gross tonnage of freight and sellable products moving on the Great Lakes, and in particular through the Soo Locks, was larger than that of the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal combined?
I did not know that. That's crazy.
I would never have even guessed that.
And it's not even close. Going up against the other two canals combined, the Soo Locks did about 160% more.
Wow.
At one time, the Great Lakes at any given moment had more valuable freight on the lakes than the Suez Canal would see in a full year. So when we talk about like transport, and this was the basic stuff, this was furs, this was leather, this was in particular for South Haven, the area I'm in now, stone fruits, number one stone fruit producer in the world at the time. And all of this is moving aboard schooners and sloops. And then as we get into the freighter era, Great Lakes stay on top largely because of automotive and then what we do and produce during World War I. So the Soo Locks remained one of the number one access points for sellable goods in the entire world for water transit. It's just remarkable to me.
That's mind-blowing, especially when you consider that these other two places, when you think of the Panama Canal and the Suez Canal, those are worldwide canals, and yet we are kicking their butts. That's awesome.
We were for many, many years.
Maybe not so much now.
Yeah, as shipping came in out of Asia and particularly, and certainly out of like the African Horn, we've seen these numbers change. But still today, like as we sit in 2025, vessels moving on the Great Lakes are about $1 billion a year to the US GDP. So we're talking about big, big numbers. And when we talk about lake health and the economy of the lakes, this all factors in. To totally change. Awesome. You ready for something kind of dumb and silly?
Yes.
Do you know that there's Native American and First Nation folklore and story around the idea that the lakes breathe? And that like so much myth and legend, it's actually rooted in science and fact, but it existed before a time when we understood the science. So there's a term and it's called sashing or to sash. And it is the tidal rise and drop of the lakes levels based on everything from where the moon is to weather coming in across the lakes to, as we experienced this week, earthquakes on the other side of the world. And that can affect the lakes rising and falling over a foot, sometimes in as little as a few minutes. And so for First Nation and tribal and Native American cultures, they saw this phenomenon and they thought it was the lake taking a breath. So now we know the phenomenon happens, but its technical term is sashing.
Nice.
I love the idea of the lake breathing. I think that's so
Isn't
cool.
there something about that just, it feels right? Anyone who's lived on the lakes knows they're alive, knows that they breathe, and sometimes they get angry. And then my something fun is in my new office, which I'm proud to have, following the 16-year legacy of the outgoing executive director, who in her own right is a unbelievably a wonderful woman who's a force of nature unto herself. Out of her office window, now my office window, I get to watch a drawbridge all day. That drawbridge covers the Black River, and it's a transit point out onto Lake Michigan, and it's one of 1,037 drawbridges in the United States of America. And I get to spend most of my day with the Dykeman view, kind of at the corner of my eye for Dykeman Bridge.
Okay, question. I have a question.
Cool.
Is it this kind of drawbridge or is it this kind of drawbridge?
Excellent question. So this kind of drawbridge actually isn't a drawbridge. It's called a lift bridge. And then have you seen this kind of bridge like St. Joe's has?
Yes.
That's called a swing bridge. But the ones that do this, the ones that give you the Dukes of Hazzard lineup, those are drawbridges. And that's what we've got here in South Haven, the Dykeman Bridge.
Sorry.
No, I'm with you. It's like every time it goes up, I always look out going, is one of the golf carts going to go for it? But it's kind of cool because the museum's over 50 years old. And in the early days of the museum, there wasn't an address. It was south of the drawbridge.
Wow.
That was how they told people how to find us. Get to South Haven, because we're immediately south of the drawbridge.
Figure that out. That's
so
awesome.
It's kind of this fun little part of our personal history, but knowing there's a little more than 1,000 drawbridges in the whole country, I think it's pretty fun. I get to watch one most days.
That's awesome.
You have $1 million view.
At least, maybe 5 million on a good sunny day like today. Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
I have good news. We have Marla the cat with us right now. Marla, isn't
Ooh.
this interesting? She loves stuff like this. So it's my cat. So, which means it's probably time for dinner because I'm getting headbutted by my cat.
Oh,
Sorry. All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I made sure and fed mine before the show because I was like, "Oh, this
Uh,
is not gonna be good."
no.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
mine's not allowed to come to the office with me.
Oh,
That's a
Aw.
kitten. That's
put
the
that in the
saddest
very
story
small
ever.
negative column
So
for this job.
fair enough.
Okay.
All right, so we had some smart stuff. We had I don't think that's dumb. I actually
Oh, I
think
think so there.
that's smart too. So
Yeah.
is there anything else? Smart, dumb, and fun.
Oh, other than
Strawberry.
my general personality, I don't think so.
Okay, that's awesome. That's all right. So I'm going to go ahead and take question number 2. Bailey, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, question number 2. What made the Michigan Maritime Museum so amazing that you would leave Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
That is the $1 million question. Detroit's home. I love Detroit. Detroit will always be home. I'm very proud to say born and raised. But as life so often does, you develop passions. And for me, my three great passions in my life are my family, which includes my dog and my cat, the city of Detroit, and the Great Lakes. I am a
Cool.
huge fan of the lakes in Detroit. We're so lucky to have the Detroit River, the Strait of Detroit, Lake St. Clair, and of course, Lake Erie. And for me, my happy place is always out on a boat on the water, doing things on the Great Lakes, really being that Michigander freshwater water child. And
Yay.
as life went on, I worked heavily in tall ships for the last 12 years through my roles at Detroit History Tours, but also through organizations like the Detroit Yacht Club and Sail America. And always loved that. My old joke used to be one day, if I get to retire, I'm setting off to sea and I'm just going to travel the Great Lakes until it gets too cold and then make my way down to the Keys until it gets too warm and then make my way back up. And the Michigan Maritime Museum is a cultural touch point in this part of the state and becoming a cultural touch point for the entire region, the tri-state area. It is the repository of Great Lakes history, Michigan maritime history, and it has a remarkable on-water fleet. What I would argue is one of the most complete on-water fleets guests are able to go out sailing on anywhere in our country. And when their outgoing executive director announced her retirement, she left a really remarkable legacy. This museum is on strong footing to really start doing huge things because of her trajectory she put it on. And when I was approached about interviewing and possibly coming out here, I sort of said, it would take a crowbar and a tall ship to get me out of Detroit. And they showed up with the tall ship. They really had such a wonderful team, incredibly strong team of directors, a brand new campus that they completed through a legacy campaign in 2022 that gives us 6 buildings, an outdoor campus on Lake Michigan and the Black River, this on-water fleet of 5 vessels, a wonderful captain of the fleet, a wonderful set of captain and crew for all of the vessels, an incredibly bright, smart, talented, also fun, at moments dumb office team, just everything you could hope for. And I will say always that my team in Detroit is the best in the business. But these guys, it became very clear to me very quickly, could give them a run for their money. And in Detroit, it's been 12 years at Detroit History Tours, from a little tiny scrappy company all the way up to a corporation that runs tours for lots of very large players. And as we've grown, I've had to step back from the day-to-day work and really operate the company. And that's been a wonderful experience. And it's brought a lot of my team up into positions where they were ready to take on more. And we didn't have more to offer them because I sort of was the ceiling. So when the Michigan Maritime Museum Board entrusted me with carrying on the next era of this amazing museum, one of my first thoughts was, oh my gosh, I get to go spend my life on the lakes. I get to be on the water every day. We get to do, these incredible things, and we get to get involved with schools and senior groups and all the stuff that really gets me excited. But also that in stepping away, I open up that opportunity for a staff in Detroit that's more than earned it. So I'm very proud to say that team is carrying on beautifully, doing things in a way that makes me both proud and slightly nervous, and just absolutely rocking the work in Detroit. And it's given me a chance to come out here and flex a different set of muscles, to focus in on one very specific task and see how I can move that legacy from the previous executive director and all those that came before her into the next 50 years of what this place can be. And it is just a mission with so much teeth that I think is so important right now. It's a living museum with an on-water fleet that would make any captain jealous. But it's also a values alignment. They believe in preservation, education, community service. And to get to come out here and really knuckle down and focus on that for maritime history was an opportunity I couldn't pass up.
That's awesome.
It makes a lot of sense.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Thank you both.
Mm-hmm. You can feel your passion for it right through the screen. So
yeah,
it's fantastic. Yes. Mm-hmm. So. And you want to take question 3?
I will be happy to.
Okay.
So Bailey, all right. What is the mission of the Michigan Maritime Museum, and how is this accomplished?
Well, we here at the MMM celebrate, preserve, promote, and steward the heritage and culture of Michigan's Great Lakes, waterways, and maritime careers, which sometimes are on shore, through education, exhibition, and on-water experiences. So our job here is to get everyone, whether they're a Michigander or a visitor. We're 2 hours from Chicago. We're an hour and a half from Michigan City, Indiana. So we get a lot of friends from our neighboring states. But it's to get all of them to understand the significance and the importance of the Great Lakes. This is something we preach at Detroit History Tours and that we preach here at Michigan Maritime Museum. If you want something to be preserved, if you want something to be considered important and cared about and constantly in the ethos of the community, you have to give people an education on it. It's easy to tear something down when you don't understand it. It's easy to dump the motor oil into the sewer when you don't understand where that goes and what it affects. So while our mission is very clear, I think one of the benefits of our mission is we get people to care about the Great Lakes and recognize how important they are for commerce, recreation, and the overall health of the region and the country. Plus boat rides. Plus really cool boat rides on the coolest boats you can imagine. We have a World War II Coast Guard rescue vessel, and you can go out and ride it on Lake Michigan. We have an 1811 reproduction sloop with a full crew who is dressed historically and immerses you in life on the Great Lakes at the start of the 1800s. We've also got a 1924 Chris Craft that makes you feel like you're right back in Prohibition. So how can you pass up an opportunity to teach when those are your tools? This is more fun than anyone should be allowed to have.
I was like, you're making me, I was like, oh, now I see I have to get a membership because I'm going to go back over and over again.
Yeah.
And can I just say, one of the legacies of our departing executive director and our board, which has seen many members and our donors and our very strong community here, is our memberships are the best value around. $40 for an individual, which gets you into the museum unlimited access, plus included for all of our lectures and programs. We do phenomenal programming thanks to our program director, Ashley Dimming. You also, depending on your membership level, get guest passes. So for a family, $75 a year opens you up to free make and take programs every Tuesday for kids, a program called Fish Tales, which is book time, story time for kids based on maritime books. For a family on any budget, this museum offers a tremendous community value. And that was a big part of what made me excited to come here too.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love that. Yeah, because I noticed that your slogan is, "We're more than just boats or boat rides." And I'm like, yes.
I think that's the unofficial slogan, but it's really true. And for many years, the museum, drawbridge is going up. The museum, do you guys want to see?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, hold on, let me do a flip around. Trying to see, can you see it going up?
Wait, sorry, I just did
Oh.
something I shouldn't have done. Sorry.
Oh.
Hang on. Cinema layout. Can you guys see that? Nobody can see that. All right, yes, now we can see it. Oh.
Oh yeah, I
Wait.
could see it.
There it goes.
Oh, there it is. I'm waiting for the golf cart.
Yep. See the line of people starting?
That's
So
awesome.
9 times a day.
Wow.
That is
Gosh.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize for messing up your screens doing that.
You didn't do a thing. That was all me.
But yeah, it's definitely more than boat rides. And for many, many years, the museum was more seasonal than it is now. We certainly do have some seasonality to our museum. We're 7 days a week in the summer, and then 4 to 5 days a week throughout the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Do a lot of field trips in the winter, do a lot of exploration and hands-on learning in the winter. And so one of the things we're really trying to get out there, and thank you for giving me a chance to speak to it, is this idea that certainly come for boat rides, absolutely, but come back for programming in the Jerry Mason Learning Center, which is aimed at kids, or lectures in the RB Annis Hall, which we have a great one coming next Wednesday. It's called Women on the Water. And it's all about female lighthouse captains and ship captains and all sorts of different women who've left an impact on the Great Lakes. We had a great lecture last month from a young man, just 14, working on a middle school history project about Native American fishing policies in this part of the state. So there's always something going on here. And again, that's a big part of the draw, that I get to learn every day in my job here and learn from some really smart cookies.
That's awesome. I love that.
Awesome. That's amazing.
So
What time is that lecture on Wednesday?
Noon to 1. We call them lunch and learns. And people bring a sack lunch and snack away. And if you're a member, they're completely free. If you're not a member, I believe they are either $5 or $10. I think 5 for seniors and students, 10 for everyone else. But don't quote me on that. MichiganMaritimeMuseum.org/events. It'll give you everything. And truly, we'd love to see you at any or all of it.
Excellent.
that is
Excellent.
completely awesome. All right, so let's go to our next question. Can you give us a background or history of the Michigan Maritime Museum?
Me do history? Get out of here. Jenny, you're talking crazy. Yeah, I'd love to. So the Michigan Maritime Museum is 51 years old this year. It was founded back in 1974 by Roland Sylvester. And he really founded the museum largely with a collection of items he had. And it was to sort of honor this idea of the working waterfront. Our very first exhibit is still an exhibit. It's the Evelyn S, which is a commercial fishing tug. And today it's on the hard, which in boat talk means it's on the land, it's resting on the land, but it's opened up every day and kids can crawl through it and grab the wheel and have that experience. We refer to her lovingly as Evie, but Evelyn S was the very first exhibit. And for many, many years, the museum sort of opens to the public in the mid-1970s, and it is this small sort of commercial-esque building at the waterfront where Lake Michigan and the Black River meet. And as the museum continued to grow and continued to prosper, they launched a legacy campaign. That campaign raised just shy of $9 million. The community out here takes this museum to their hearts and has been remarkable in their support of it. And the museum completed that legacy campaign with building the building I'm currently sitting in, which is our main building on campus today. But I'm very proud and excited to say we, in addition to that, have 4 historic buildings on campus, including the Padnos Boat Shed, named for a longtime donor and supporter. That's where they work on our boats. That's where the crew does winter repairs and re-rigging. And we have to make a lot of the items for our boats because our collection is so unique that sometimes it's very hard to go find those pieces. We have a historic life-saving station, which predates when the Coast Guard came around. That would have only, it's the real one that existed just a few miles down the beach here that was moved in its entirety to our campus. And we have a brand new exhibit currently being built. Many, many, many thanks to the Harris family, who has sponsored that exhibit, and to Cottage Home, who has been actually building that building. And that new building will come online in spring next year and house our commercial fishing exhibit, which we're really excited about, because commercial fishing on Lake Michigan has this wild history of being a huge commerce driver to being outlawed, being made illegal, to recreational fishing and charter fishing being popular, and invasive species and all of the other parts of that story. So we're very excited about having the space to tell it. So the museum kind of has grown. And the big catalyst to our growth was in 2004, we splashed a ship. Now that ship is called Friends Goodwill. Can you imagine a better name for a boat at a museum? And Friends Goodwill is a replica of an 1811 topsail sloop. And that vessel has ties to the War of 1812. And what the team here largely pushed for in early 2000 was to build a signature vessel for the museum. And so this is modeled 100% accurately against the original. It is sailed under the traditional methods. The only thing modern on it is life-saving equipment, as we would all want it to be. And under our excellent captain, Captain Bob, who's also the commander of our fleet, Captain Amanda and Captain Peter, who also captain that vessel, they go out with a crew of 6 to 8, all dressed in 1810s regalia. They take out guests as young as age 4, and we do everything from adventure sails, which deal with some science and some ecology, to sunset sails, which deal with, a glass of wine and the beautiful South Haven sunset, which can't be beat. So the launching of that ship in 2004 really was a defining moment in my mind for the museum's history, because it gave us a signature attraction. And I've had the privilege of being on South Haven beaches when that vessel's going in or out. And the whole beach, tens of thousands of people stop and watch it. And then it's a lot of fun to hear people go, "It's a pirate ship." And I'm like, "It's an 1811 sloop. Get it right."
Now, if
yeah.
Now, I found a picture of it. Is it okay if I put that up on the screen real quick?
Please.
So
there's the beaut.
Yes, that is really beautiful. So I thought I just wanted to make sure people get a chance to look at that, because that is pretty. And the thing is, I actually think I've seen that. I think
I have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I was in South Haven, we it was coming down the Black River, and it was it is a showstopper, to say the least. Yeah.
There is no way that goes by and you don't, pause for the moment.
Exactly.
Agreed.
It's remarkable. Agreed. And I mean, we have a wonderful boat named Lindy Lou. And I think you might think this is fun. It's actually named for a wonderful donor, Linda, who her and her husband contributed the money to build that boat. It was built here on campus, and it's modeled after a 1920s little river skiff, but it's, new. It's all electric, and it does tours up and down the Black River. And it's got this beautiful sort of, do you remember that old Audrey Hepburn Out of Africa film, where she's sort of like back with her silk scarf? It's sort of got that je ne sais quoi about it. And when that's going up and down the river, people will just stand on the bridge and take photos and watch it. So we've got these boats that I always think of as our introduction to the museum. That might be how we rope you into coming to visit us. But once we're here, there's so much to see. I have heard families remark, "Oh my gosh, we scheduled half a day for this. We could have." There she is. That's Lindy Lou. We could have been there the whole day, kind of thing.
Nice. Yeah, I would. Like when you see a little boat like that, you're like, I can picture myself on either one of those, either on the Lindy Lou or on the Friends Goodwill. I'm like, yeah. I want that.
Yes. And then if you run a little more academic in your blood, the museum also operates the Canoni Great Lakes Research Library, which is part of our campus, although it's about 7 blocks from our main campus. It's built into the original lighthouse keeper's home, which is part of the museum. And that library holds 5 of everything plus the kitchen sink. It is a phenomenal research library, but in particular, photographs, charts, recordings focused on Great Lakes history. And some of that is a draw for researchers and especially academic fellows to come here to South Haven. We work closely with several other maritime libraries to support that. And that's an area of the library we're really looking forward to growing, or an area of the museum, excuse me, our library, that we're really looking forward to growing in the next couple of years, because as we all know, knowledge is power. So the more people we can get in there, the stronger that lighthouse beam can glow.
So that's okay. So I have a side question here. Do you guys do, what kind of cooperatives do you do with some of the other museums in the state?
Oh, great question. So we currently have a little by land, air, sea thing going with Air Zoo in Kalamazoo. If you purchase a ticket to the Kalamazoo Air Zoo or to the Michigan Maritime Museum, we give you a little like coupon, and it gets you half off the other one.
Oh, that's so awesome.
So
that's
kind
great.
of like packaging those things together. And we definitely have plans to do more of that. We are part of Museums for All, which is a wonderful program here in the state of Michigan that takes advantage of EBT and SNAP benefits to allow those receiving those benefits to access the museum at no charge. That's something we're really proud of. We are proudly a Gold Star museum, meaning that active duty military and their families, there is no charge. In addition, we are starting to have more and more opportunities. HASH is a partner in many things. That is the Historical Association of South Haven. But we're also now in a partnership with Lawrence Tech University for filming and some education stuff that's coming on a little bit further upriver. We do a lot of stuff with the Great Lakes Water Coalition. We just about 3 weeks ago now had the Jackson, which is a research vessel out of Grand Valley State University here for basically a study abroad, a different dock for a week. So they were here doing programming in conjunction with us, and we're hoping to grow that. The Annis Foundation is a big supporter and certainly was part of us and the Jackson Research Vessel and Grand Valley University all kind of coming together. And what I try to think about every day coming to work here is we have this amazing toolbox. And if our toolbox helps somebody else solve their building problem, we want to be there to do it. So as we continue to sort of build these partnerships, schools are a huge one, but other museums are a big part of that, because high tides raise all ships. And the museum world right now is under some threats. So I'm in the privileged position of being at a museum with a wonderful board, a smart and talented staff, and an economic footing built by the previous executive director that allows us to, in some cases, help other museums succeed the way we've benefited from other museums helping us. So who do we work with? Open call. We want to work with anyone doing education in Great Lakes research, and grab us. We want to be part of that.
That's awesome. I would say, this is it's so wonderful because, like you said earlier, just as far as, the tide raises all ships, I'm a big believer in, many hands make light work. That's for sure.
Yes.
So cool.
Very good.
Awesome.
And my gosh, do we have great museums out here on this side of the state?
Yeah. Agreed.
That's true.
Agreed. All right, so that takes us to our next question. So you are the executive director, but what does that mean as far as what role do you have with the Maritime Museum?
So in any other museum, I would say I'm the captain, but here that has a whole different meaning, and I am not the captain. I am president, CEO, general manager, whichever term you choose to use. In the museum world, executive director is the fairly common one. So my job is to lead the staff of the Michigan Maritime Museum, as well as our robust and phenomenal volunteer groups, and to work with our board, who serves 2 to 5 year terms. Those are elected terms, to push the Maritime Museum, to sail the Maritime Museum into its next chapters. And as we talked about earlier, we know our mission. We understand what it is we're here to do. So a lot of my job is figuring out how we do it, from setting our annual budget to hiring and building the team, to helping design programming, supporting exhibitions being built, working with our membership director, a wonderful Brent Page, incredibly smart and talented, to build our membership, because without them, we can't do the other work. To build build and nurture our strong donor base so that we have the finances to be able to do things like offer no-cost field trips through our Make Education Work grant. So my job is very similar to Detroit History Tours. Keep an eye on everything. Be a ready set of hands to help when any member of the team could use an extra set of hands, and to always sort of be forward leaning towards what we can bring into the museum and what we can achieve. And in the rare case something goes wrong, to be the one out there making sure we fix it as quickly as possible. You know, it's executive director. There's all sorts of jokes, but executive director, in charge when everything's going right, in trouble when everything's going wrong.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, okay, so you had mentioned having a really great staff and a great set of volunteers. So that's the next question is, how can someone be part of the Michigan Maritime Museum?
Gosh, well, first of all, membership. So individual membership is just $40 a year, and it gets you our mailed newsletter, as well as every 2 weeks we send out an email letter, which is really great. Always includes some fun facts, some recipes for maritime things, most of them you do not want to actually eat, and involvement invitations to all of the things we do. We're very proud to say we have members in Nebraska and Alaska and Iowa and Florida. And we also have members right here in South Haven. We have lots of members from, the southeast part of the state, which makes me very proud. So you can go right to our website, michiganmaritimemuseum.org, click the membership tag and pick a membership that's right for you. We also have a wonderful group called the Keel Club. That is a group of donors who contribute at least $1,000 a year. And that group has special events and activities. They get in early to certain exhibits, and they really are, in so many ways, the wind in our sails when it comes to these new projects. These are the groups who are continuously supporting us both in hours donated and in financial backing to make this museum keep humming along. We also need volunteers. Are you a school teacher who's looking for a way to just do the fun parts and no grading? On Tuesdays, we have Hands on the Harbor, which is a free make and take maritime craft that we host here. We need people to help run those. On Thursdays, we have an activity called Hands on the Harbor, where it's $10 a kid, and it's this great kind of STEM-based science, math, engineering projects. We supply everything we need. Help running those. We have a plastic boat regatta in May where we're looking for volunteers. August 22nd, we have our Rock the Boat 80s themed rock concert on campus to raise money for the museum. Tickets are $20 on sale now. It's always a fantastic show. Harbor Light does the bars, so they are beautiful West Michigan brewery, like yummy stuff. That's always fun. And we need lots of volunteers. It's easy to see a museum pull off an event and think, my gosh, that staff must be great. Yes, the staff is great. But the 30 volunteers who came and helped get the chairs out, or the 10 who stayed and helped clean it up, and the volunteer who's hauling ice, and the volunteer who's running the merch booth, that's how we really get this done. So we welcome volunteers. They are in many ways our lifeblood right there with the donors. So lots of ways to get involved. And if you want to volunteer as crew on a historic tall ship, there are a couple of requirements. You do have to do drug testing, which is a requirement of Tall Ships America and sort of an insurance requirement of doing maritime under the Jones Act. You do have to be a member, which can be as little as that $40 membership. And then you go through a series of training, which we offer 2 to 3 times a year. Once you've done that, you can start volunteering on board the ship. And we have some volunteers who've been with us 20 years. And want to hear something kind of silly?
Yes.
The uniforms our historic tall ship crew wears, they are 1800 sort of sailors' uniforms, and they refer to them as funnies. So they're in their funnies when they're in uniform. So if you want to volunteer with some funnies, we'd love that help too. It really is, to your point, many hands make light work. Volunteers make museums possible. So if you're interested, if you're in this area, or if you're farther afield, but you say, heck, we could sponsor or help out or support, please, we'd love to hear from you. We've got lots of opportunities to be part of this important work.
So cool. I
That is.
want to do that.
Get on out here.
What to go to there. And again, you guys, if you'd like to know more, MichiganMaritimeMuseum.org. There it is. It's easy to find. You can Google it and it just pops
Mhm.
right up.
It pops right up. Yeah.
It does. All right. Well, you had that's awesome. So you had mentioned special events. So you mentioned a few. So are there some like so I would call them just like banging special events that you do that you just can't that should not be missed?
Oh golly. So I'm still experiencing them. I haven't been here, a full year to see the full, might of our event calendar. But there are a couple I've experienced that I would highly recommend. The fish fry. Can we just pause for a moment and talk about fried fish?
Mhm.
I
Yes,
mean,
always 100% of the time.
and it's guilt-free fried fish because it's fried fish for good. It's coming in, it's supporting the museum. So it's part of our annual Blessing of the Fleet, which, if you're anyone with an interest in maritime history, that ceremony is wonderful. Now, yacht clubs do it, boat clubs do it, naval, bases do it, but it's not always something the general public is able to participate in. If you're not a member of that yacht club or you're not serving at that naval base, they're generally not open to the public. Ours is. We'd like anyone who'd like to come and offer well wishes for a safe season on the water. We invite them to come. We have a non-denominational group of clergy, and they offer the blessings for each ship with the traditional lemon, olive branch water. We all end up covered in Black River water by the end of it. We sing Old Lang Syne as a group, which is really moving and lovely out on the docks. And then we eat fried fish until we can't fit any more fish in. It's provided by Captain Lou's, which, if you know South Haven, Captain Lou's is a institution, and
Fixture, yeah.
that is a blast. I always recommend coming out for Blessing of the Fleet. In August, we have our Rock the Boat. This year is Forever Young, and it is an 80s themed event. Everyone dresses up, $20 a ticket. And we just have a massive fundraiser, like 600 people at the museum for a rock concert. What could be more fun than that?
Mhm.
Nothing.
We also have a really cool event coming up this holiday season, which I have not yet experienced, but the general excitement of the staff has me feeling like excited. It's twofold. In October, we do the Spooktacular at the Maritime Museum, which is basically trick-or-treating through the museum. And the staff gets just a tad bit competitive with our costumes, I'm told. So that is going to be fun. And we invite the community to come in, and it's just a safe place to trick or treat with a little maritime history flair.
Mhm.
And then we have Holidays at the Heritage, which is sort of the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the winter holidays are celebrated through a series of events that last about a week and a half in December. And Santa comes by Coast Guard boat. And
Ooh.
kids are invited to kind of get in the boat and take their photos.
Mhm.
We have a Christmas concert as part of that. We do lots of crafts those couple of weeks. I
Mhm.
believe lighthouse Christmas ornaments are on the table for this year. I saw that floating around. I also saw origami boats floating around and was kind of excited about that.
Oh, that's cool.
And almost all of our events are family friendly.
Mhm.
Every now and then we'll have a lecture where we'll say, this one's maybe 16 and over, or content should be reviewed by parent before attending. But by and large, we are very family friendly. From about 5 to about 105, our programs are appropriate. Those that require a physical capability, that will always be listed on the website. So, for example, certain boats, there's a physical element to boarding or
Mhm.
disembarking. So guests can always feel very confident reading through that to decide what's right for them, or reach out to us. If you have a specific question, reach out to us at the museum, and we're always happy to set the details. But I would say, coming up, if you can make it August 22nd, we'd love to have you at Rock the Boat. And then Spooktacular in October, and Holidays at the Heritage in December will all be really fun.
Okay.
That sounds so fun.
I was going to say, it does. It sounds great. Very
So
good. Mhm.
this is right up my alley. So Ann Brothers, I believe we have exhausted all of our questions to Bailey because many of them you have answered
Mhm.
while before we could even ask them. So
Oh,
Exactly.
that
as
yes.
always, you have overachieved, Bailey. So
Yes.
there you
Good
go.
job.
Uh,
Mhm.
so okay, I have a question for you. So I took one of the boat tours with Detroit History Tours.
Mhm.
It was the one that goes down the Detroit River. Is that the same boat that's at South Haven at the Michigan Maritime Museum?
Oh, great question. So no, not the same boat. I've had the
Okay.
privilege of working 5 different tall ships in the last 12 years, and then being part of about 80 different tall ships
Mhm.
over kind of my career. And it's as one would imagine, a small group where everyone sort of knows each other,
Mhm.
and boats are talked about like friends. So the boat you would have been on would have been either Appledore 5 or Appledore 3.
Okay.
I believe you were not on Apple Core, which is the little tiny one.
Mm-mm.
No, it was
Uh,
not little tiny.
okay.
No. So
Yep, Apple Core is the baby.
Mhm.
Um,
okay. Mhm.
so I believe you're on Appledore, but we've also in Detroit worked with the Win and the If. We've worked with oh golly, Captain Kitty and the Purpose has come for Detroit. We've also had the Nina, which is part of the Nina Pinta.
Mhm.
Um, that threesome of boats, which was all built in the 1980s. Forgive me, it might be late 70s as
Mhm.
reproductions. So we've had quite a few different boats into the port of Detroit over the years. And what's so exciting here is it's the sky's the limit. Thanks to some wonderful work done here, our docks are overbuilt for us to
Mhm.
allow in visiting vessels. So where right now we've got our standard, on water fleet, we
Mhm.
are in a position to invite boats like the Jackson research vessel to be able to come in and really enjoy a secondary port, which is great for us. We get an additional boat, and great for them. They get, another place to teach and explore out of.
That's awesome. That's
So you got
Excellent.
to
awesome.
come. These will be all new to you.
Yes. Oh
I
no,
know,
I'm
it's
so
so great.
excited.
We have Jan Stoffer with us. Hi, Jan. How are you? Jan Stoffer's coming to us from, I believe, Minnesota. I don't know. Apparently, you're not where you're supposed to be because it sounds like you're traveling, which is awesome. So I would agree. So much wonderful information. I need to know where are you in Duluth? Sitting, says she is sitting a couple of blocks from Lake Superior while you listen, which is amazing. So I hope you're having a great time and relaxing on beautiful Lake Superior. So
Mhm.
that's fantastic. So thank you for joining us, Jan. If you are interested in exploring the Michigan Maritime Museum,
And why
there's the
wouldn't you
address.
be?
Yeah, duh. So there's some information right there about, just so a little bits of information about where to find it, where to look, its website, hours, and those are your summer hours, correct?
Correct. That's summer.
Okay.
Hours will always be updated on our website. And after Labor Day, we'll go to a smaller schedule. And then after the holiday season, we go to 4 days a week for January, February, March. And then we're right back at it again at Memorial Day.
That's awesome. That
Mhm.
is awesome. So, all right, Bailey, again, always you're just outstanding. So this
Mhm.
was great. We've already burned through our hour, believe it or not. So real quick before we leave, just a huge thank you to Bailey Sisoy-Moore. You're my hero. Okay.
Mhm. Me too.
Brothers, sisters, I'll hang out with you guys anytime. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Are you kidding me?
it
The pleasure was all ours. I mean,
I know. I know. So I'm so glad that we can still be friends, that we
I
still get to
know,
be
me
friends
too.
with you.
Come visit. Come visit. It's nice out here. It's really nice.
We
We,
will definitely, we will absolutely do that. So,
yes.
so yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Again, you guys, Michigan Maritime Museum, you've done a great job, audience. You've stayed with us. You've spent another hour with the brothers, sisters, learning things about stuff. Today, we interviewed Bailey Sisoy-Moore, the executive director of the Michigan Maritime Museum. You learned all about the museum, some history, the things you should do, how you can get involved in Michigan Maritime Museum, whether you just come for a visit or become a member or volunteer or become, part of the staff, but there's lots of ways for you to get involved. So remember, we want to hear from you. If you've been to the Michigan Maritime Museum, we want to hear from you. If you're thinking about it, we want to hear from you. You can answer our questions or take our poll. Give us your questions, concerns, comments, and
Confessions.
confessions. Yeah, we
Hmm.
went to this wedding this week, and we have some family that are pretty frequent listeners, and they did all kinds of confessing over
Confessing.
this. A lot of confessing, an
Yeah, I was like,
uncomfortable amount of confessing.
confessing. I was like, oh, we got to stop saying that, Jenny.
Or we have to say it more.
Or-
We got some
Uh,
serious tea this weekend. That's all I know. All right.
mhm.
Remember, you can support the Brothers Sisters for free. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a review. Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. and all of that stuff. So please join us next week, you guys. We are going, actually, you know what? This broadcast will end up dropping next week on Spotify and all of that. So join us 2 weeks from now when we do Youper Lights Part 2, Loper Lights, meaning that we're going to be exploring some of the Lower Peninsula beaches looking for Youper Lights, because apparently that's a thing too. So we're going to give you some intel on that. There you go. So it'll be fun. It'll be exciting, as always. So there you go. So join us in a couple of weeks, you guys. We'll talk about Loper Lights. In the meantime, I'm Janice Brothers. With me is my sister.
And brothers.
That's right. Oh, wait. Hang on. Yes, Lisa, I would agree. Lisa Grippy is with us. We have to catch up. That is it for sure. And I forgot to turn on the goodbye music. So I'm going to do that again. I know, right? There it is. That's right. Again, one more time, I'm Janice Brothers. With me is my sister.
And brothers.
And our special guest, Bailey Sisoy-Moore. Thanks for joining us, you guys. We want you to get out there and do something smart, do something dumb, do something fun. We are out of here.
Bye.
Bye.